everybody. Hi, how are we tonight? I got a little sidetracked. I had some little visitors in my driveway, and then I had to finish dinner. So sorry. So tonight we'll jump right in, and we are going to be playing with Gallery Blooms. I have some designer series paper in my hand, and I was grabbing a few pieces of cardstock that goes with it, coordinates. So let me go get a couple of more pieces and we should be able to make a few cards. All right, let's grab some crumb cake. And pecan pie. I call it pecan. I know some people say pecan. And slate and we'll just grab a few pieces that coordinate the whole way with the designer series paper in my hand and see what we wind up with. It's a little darker. I know that the designer series paper in that pack is a little dark, but we don't have to be dark. We can use whatever colors we want, right? Peach pie, that's what I'm looking for. All right. How was your week? My weekend was amazing. Let me back up and say, hey, Jenny, how are you? Um, my Friday started after, well, obviously when I got up and had to go to work and worked a few hours. And then I did a few errands, tried to mow the yard. I couldn't get the mower started. So then I came in here and I worked on thank you cards. And then when hubby got home, he helped me get the mower started. He's going to fix it so that he doesn't have to do that anymore. And I can start it all on my own, which is what I love to do. I love absolutely just putting my headphones on with music in my ears and just mowing. By the looks of my yard, you would not have believed that had you seen it before I got started, because it really needed mowed. It is mowed and all is well. So that is good. And hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. I am Brenda Sellers, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the great city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Thanks for joining. Let me share my screen. And because I had, like I said, got distracted by the littles in my driveway, let's just jump in and make a couple cards. I'm fixing that screen so I can see it all. Here we go. We are going to play with a stamp set called Gallery Blooms. This stamp set is also what I'm going to feature when I do the email, hopefully this evening, for my subscription kit. And if you don't know about the subscription kit, it is $45 and I mail you the materials to make 8 cards, but it has 4 designs of each of the 4 cards. All right, so this is the featured card stamp set. And if you need some sentiments, I know everybody's got sentiments on your shelf, but I'll probably use some of these sentiments and motifs to go with it. So how's that? And then it's got designer series paper called Beautiful Gallery. You can see that I have used quite a bit of it. Let's just see. I love that paper. And there's a very pretty one. And that, oh, I need to show you the back side, huh? Well, that tells me what colors are in it. There's the back. Looks like I have a couple of those, so front and back. There's that one. Let's get its other side. This probably isn't all because I have used some of these papers. Oh, that one's so pretty. And there's the reverse. It looks like paint splatter. Oh, look at this one. There's that side, and that's what I was oohing on. This side, I don't have an extra of that one because I've used it. And then here's this one. All right, so let's pick a couple of these and we'll just, actually, I think I'm going to use this one. I am. And we'll make that card first, and then we'll stamp, and we'll go from there. All right. Lay you right there. And that looks like it's got some blues. Let's use Cloud Cover as our base. And let's use Secret Sea. That might be cut exactly. As our layer. I need to roll a chair over here so I got a place to start laying stuff. It's like I need an extra space around me. How many, when you start crafting, do you use up every available inch of space? I do. That's why the table behind me looks like it does, because I've been making cards. All right, we are going to score this at 4 1/4. As my friend Julie Salva says, one of her friends says, park the dart. That one cuts. We don't want it to cut. So at 4 1/4, score. This gives us 2 card bases at once. And now we're going to cut it at 5 1/2. And I'm going to pull the cutting blade down to the bottom. And I tend to go up because that's up against a straight edge and it holds it and keeps it from going wonky on me. Yes, wonky is an official term. And let's see if this is 4. It is. By 5 1/4. Perfect. Already cut. So we need a piece of basic white. Not yet. We're going to use this. I want 3 3/4. By 5. And that will layer right like that. Let me get my basic whites. I've got basic white scraps right here. And get a punch. What's the name of this one? I don't have the label on it, but it's labeled with love. So we're going to use that one. And we're going to use Thinking of You. Or just, let's use Just a Note. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. See, I've already got some right here. So let's finish using this one. Stick that in the middle with Secret Sea. Most of the stamp ink pads are juicy, so you just want to tap. You don't want to smash it. Put that right in the middle. And then let's use this and use this. See what we like. If we don't like it, we can always cut us another one. Stamp off and on. Stamp off. That gives it some dimension. I don't think I like it though. Let's cut us another one. Do something different. Ah, it's crooked. And I've got stuff on the back. Trying it again. Trial and error, trial and error. See if we can get that straight. Much better. And now I'm going to get the Secret C marker and lay it on the side and give it some much better. That way it defines my edges. But like I was talking, this is the set that I'm going to feature for my card subscription kit. You get it's $45. You get about $25 worth of product, give or take. Some months it's a little less, sometimes it's a lot more. And it's either, if you're local, sometimes I'll drop it off at your house or I will mail it directly to you. All right, that's what I wanted. Put that back where we know where it's at. Put this little gem together. Phone folder. Adhesive. It's like, what am I looking for? I was using my adhesive to make the cards this week or weekend. And it's like, okay, let's have a very fresh one so I don't have to stop and change adhesive when it's time to make cards. Let's use some Secret C ribbon. I love this ribbon. It is so easy to tie. And I know you can do little cheater bows, but I just leave it attached to my spool and I tie it around the whole thing. Oh, nice. Let's leave it. Cut it. Cut it. Stop playing. tend to make my bows go off to one side or the other. That's kind of covering up that flower. Let's slide it up a little bit. Over. See, you do all your finagling before you put it on your card front. And just pop it right there. All right. Oh, and Saturday I had the vendor event at the Travis. I cannot remember the last name, but it's a memorial car show. They raise money to support the trails and stuff around Powell. Um, and so there's lots and lots of cars. People win prizes. I didn't see as many tents for vendors this time. I'm not sure where everybody was, but I had a good time. Let's put it right there. And some of our gems are over here. Where's the other ones? No, I had to. And to use them all off of one pack. That one right there. And then it gets a piece of basic white for the middle. Some of those on top. I know that that is a very simple card, but you don't have to go all fancy. You can, but you don't have to. So let's get our next one. We're going to stamp. We'll leave that right there. We're going to stamp this. I think it's a peony. I think. I like to lay it down on the paper so that it relaxes a little bit. Yes, I know that's a funny word for a stamp, but that way, because when you pull it off of the paper, it kind of stretches it a little bit. All right, I'm going to stamp that with Secret C. And again, just tap it. You don't want to smash it. And I know I need to trim down this white piece a little bit, so that's why it's over towards the side. And I'm going to put just a note right here. And now I'm going to get peach pie. It is over here. And granny apple green, where are you? You are lemon lime. All right, let's start with the light granny apple. Let's start with the dark and do my little outlines. I'm going to trace down that a little bit to give it a little appearance of color. Remember to do that one too. Okay. Now finish coloring those in with the light, and that will help blend that in. We're going to say that's part of the petal, flower petals. If you're saying, oh, Brenda, you should cut that out before you do all of that time coloring, I'll be very careful, I promise. All right, and the dark peach pie. See, our stamps tend to give us a spot where we can see where the shadows should be when we're coloring. So that's why I'm just kind of tracing some of those lines. And that will be darker when I color it with the light. All right, oops, down here. For the little fine stuff or small spaces, I like to color it in with the bullet tip. Then I'm a little less likely to go outside the lines. Notice I said a little less likely. I still do color outside the lines. And I don't know if there are peach peonies. They're probably usually white with a little bit of a pink center, but they're whatever color we want them to be. We've got all of these beautiful markers, and so we need to use them. And even with the light marker, the more you color, the darker it will get. So if you don't want it super dark, don't color a lot in one place. And I know that I'm not a master colorer, but just make it be yours. Nope, missed a spot right there. Okay. All right. Paper trimmer time. I know that needs to go to 5. And that needs to go to 3 1/4. And actually, I think I'm going to make it go to 3 1/2 and 4 3/4 because I had a lot of white space over there. And now I can definitely put my peach pie bow over there. All right, we're not done. Got to cut some paper. Let's do, I'm going to get pumpkin pie. Already got a pumpkin pie card base. And now we're going to use peach pie for our layer, and we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. 4. Thank you everybody for watching. So let's layer these little guys together. By trimming that down a little bit more, that gave us more of a border there as compared to on that one. All right, our peach pie ribbon. I'm pretty sure that ribbon is retired, but it's still on my shelf. I'm going to use it. It might be on the last chance. I don't remember. And see, that filled up that spot perfectly. Okay. Nice. And now some pretty gems. That's Timid Tiger. Oh, there's some pumpkin pie ones. Let's use those. Our gems don't have what's written on the back, what color. So I wrote it on the inside. So we're going to use some of these pumpkin pie dots. I know these are, I believe they're on the last chance. So get them while the getting's good. And then let's toss another one. Those are big and chunky. Let's put it right there. All right, there's those two. What do we want to, let's use one of these other pretties. Oh, I didn't put anything on the inside. Let's grab this little flower and stamp it on the inside. Relax. Grab it with the block. Watching Hallmark movies and me. I'm sure the Hallmark movie is probably a little more entertaining. I'm going to pull this one over and very carefully stamp this too. And of course, you could color that one if you wanted to. For the sake of time, I'm not going to. All right, what do we, oh, let's grab the dies that go with that set. Hang on a second. Gallery of Blooms. All right, it's hiding, so we're not going to worry about it. Nope, it's right here. Here we go. All right, let's run this through. They will be on the plastic magnetic sleeve before tonight is over. Let's use this Lost Lagoon. I'm going to cut it at 5.5 so we can use it as a card base, but so I can also use the other part of it as the die cut. Arc the dart, scored at 4.25. All right, and do about half of that. See what kind of frame we get with that. Lots of cutouts. All right, there's the outside piece. Frame, frame, and background. So let's do that on our card. Put you there. We're going to use this and thinking, sorry. Go ahead and fold this guy. And that needs a piece of cloud cover. Oh, you are cut in a card base. Put those up there. I need it to be 5.25. by 4. So that's going to go there. And then we're going to put this. Ooh, actually, we're going to trim it down a little bit. That's odd. So how tall are you? You are about 5 1/4. So let's use our cloud cover piece. And then we'll lay that there. Much better. And then we'll put this in here with our flower and our sentiment on it. Whew. All right, add some adhesive around this. I would usually grab my green glue, but it's sitting over there on the table. So we get to play with this. I'm going to make that have common margins on both sides. Right at, oh, not right at the bottom. Come on, don't tear. It's not quite 5 1/4. So, all right. Common margins on the left and right. And top and bottom. There we go. Whew, that was a little stressful. And now let's see how big this guy is. It is, so if we do 3 1/8 by 1 1/2. See if I measured that right. Close enough for horseshoes. Stamp set. I'm gonna use this pretty little dude. And yes, it looks like it will stamp off, but that is totally okay. I love having my blocks right there beside me. All right, scrap paper. Secret C. Let's make it straight up and down. It didn't stamp off. Woo! Probably won't do that again. All right. And let's give it some color too. Colors go with that. Let's do Calypso Coral for those little dudes. And we're going to stay with our Granny Apple Green, and we're going to go dark first. Oh, again, I guess my mouth disengages when I'm concentrating a little bit. I think I'm just going to use the light color. That'll be a little faster. When I use the brush tip end, I tend to lay it on its side a little bit so that it's not getting rid of my point. Some of these, it's hard to tell where the petals are. All right. Oh, there's one. I think I'm going to put it on dimensionals. We're not talking about how many of these actually hit the garbage can that's right beside me or the recycle bin. And then I'm going to leave the sentiment off of that just so you can make it be whatever you want it to be. But I am going to stamp this little guy on the inside. And let's do one more for the next card. And we're going to use designer series paper on it. That way we'll have 2 stamps and 2 with designer series paper. All right, back to the conversation about the card subscription, the subscription kit. Please have those subscriptions in by the 20th, and then things will mail shortly thereafter. All right, we've used that one. I know I've used that one. Let's use that one. And we're going to go with, need that white right there. Oh, my pocket's ringing. So with that gray and no, I brought. Perfect. That'll work. Park the dark. Score on the short side, Brenda. On the short side. Gonna score it at 4 1/4. Would help if it was in its track. And now we're gonna cut it at 5 1/2. Go there. Right there. This is going to be cut at 5 1/4. by 4. And then this, we're going to cut it at, I'm going to cut this little edge off. And now at 3 3/4. Actually, I'm going to make it be a little smaller or bigger. So the margins are going to be a little smaller. So let's go right there. And right there. So that made it be, okay. So it can be right here, actually. So when you've got a piece of designer series paper and you're trying to get the floral to be the focal point, and I should have done it a little different, cut off a little bit more of the bottom instead of the top, but that's okay. That's the way it's going to go. All right, adhesive. You just kind of work your measurements around it. A little off here, a little off there. Flip it around and keep doing that till you get it to weight the way you want it. All right, let's get some color ribbon. Let's use basic beige. That kind of matches those flowers. I think that's basic beige. It is. Oh, need a little bit more. Right. Straighten up the bow a little bit. And I just cut that wrong. Fixed it. All right, let's slide you to the middle. And we're not going to put a sentiment on this one either. That way it can be whatever you want it to be on the inside. Oh, let's fold this. We need to add some gems to that little guy. We'll do that when we're adding gems to this one. Typically when I'm mass producing, it's like all the gems at one time, all the folding, all of the layers. Nice. Let's use cloud cover on both of these. A big one there. medium size there, and a little one up there. The light side, you can tell where the artist has decided the light is hitting it. So there's a little bit of a light glare there. So let's put a gem there. And one there. And a little one up here. All right. All right, let's slide this stuff around so you can see the 4 completed cards. There you have it. I am liking that. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you like what you see, this is the Gallery of Blooms. It will also be the featured stamp set for the subscription kit this month. So if you want that, hit me up. You can do it as a trial. Let me know if you want to try it for 1 month, and I can send you that link. Or you can just find it in the comments. Actually, yes, it's called Card Club. So just click on the little link that says Card Club, and that'll get you registered for the subscription kit. And it will, everybody that is in by the 20th will get this card club, not the cards that I made tonight, but you will use that stamp set and possibly some of the papers. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great night. Do something fun for yourself this week, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.